What's going on, everybody? This is Dave and welcome back to another installment of Wolves Weekly, the weekly football show on my channel where we talk everything Wolves, what has been going on over the past 7 days or so. There's been plenty to talk about. There is plenty still to talk about, and obviously if you haven't already, make sure you smash the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Obviously going to be talking about two matches today, game against Blues at the start of the week and the obviously upcoming fixture against Sunderland as well. But before we kick off, guys, if you haven't already, please go and check out the sponsors of today's video. They are called One Football. So basically it is a football app where you can get sort of news, live scores and so on. You can pick your favourite teams so you get updates all the time on those favourite teams. So for example, on the app at the moment on the screen you can see we've got the latest score from the match that we've just had, Birmingham 0, Wolves 1, which obviously we'll be talking about later on. You've got all the top news from around the world as well. Obviously on about the Ballon d'Or, FA Cups and stuff like that. You've obviously got matches where you can look at the matches from leagues that you can favourite as well. You've got obviously your team following, so Wolves, and your competitions where you can add teams and competitions whenever you like. Advent, which is a new thing here on for December, where, you know, it's got little raffles and so on as well, so good little competitions. But on the Wolves thing, you can also predict winners for particular matches as well. So it's going to be it's a really good app, and obviously they're the sponsors for today's video. So we're going to kick off with some good news about Wolves, and it is that 6 players are in the Championship Team of the Month for obviously November. So the 6 players are John Ruddy, managed to keep 2 clean sheets, I believe, in the month of November. Willy Bolly as well got his name on the score sheet a couple of times from defence. Barry Douglas as well. He managed to get a couple of assists and obviously a cracking goal against Leeds over November. Romain Saiss, again, another man who managed to get his name on the score sheet. Ivor Cavallero, who had a fantastic season, and I believe he picked up the Fans Player of the Month as well. And Mr. Leo Bonatini, who seems to be picking up awards everywhere he goes at the moment. Obviously picking up a goal again against Birmingham. A very much well-deserved 6 players in the Team of the Month. It shows how well we're doing. Almost, well, over half of the team is from Wolves. So it shows how good we are as a team, how well everyone across the whole pitch is contributing, really. John Ruddy, I think he's played every minute of the league so far, and he's still managing to keep a good number of clean sheets. Willy Bolly, obviously injured. He's come back in now, and he's becoming very threatening from set pieces, which is good. I used to hate set pieces for Wolves because we'd get ourselves so hyped up over it last few years, and we'd very rarely do anything from it, but it's much, much better now. Barry Douglas has been fantastic as a left wing back. Again, he's almost been sort of, you know, swapping and changing with Ruben Vinagre, who are both fantastic options to have there, and I'm sure Ruben will get more of a chance in the next few weeks, obviously with Christmas congestion and so on and so forth. Romain Saiss, obviously frozen out of the team last season, comes back in. He's been fantastic this season. Ivor Cavallero, again, similar sort of story. Never quite got going last year, but he's been superb this season. And Leo Bonatini, you know, we praise him every week. There's not much more else to be said. Ben Marshall has been linked, though, with an exit from Wolves. He was probably one of the better players last season who came in from the January transfer window. He's been linked with a move away from Wolves, and it's a swap deal with potentially Chris Martin from Derby. I've seen this linked a couple of times. Again, there's nothing too concrete at this moment in time. We're still just under a month till the January transfer window, where obviously we'll get more rumours and so on. But Chris Martin, obviously be a backup option. I think we've tried him before. I think he's rejected us before, if I'm honest. I'm not 100% sure. But Ben Marshall's a fantastic player. I thought, you know, I think he doesn't sort of fit into the current formation as an attacking player, but I thought he'd have more of a go at right wing back. But Doherty's been in there, ever present at the moment, and it's going to be very, very hard for him to be replaced in that team as well. There's been another setback for Phil Ofosu-Ayi. Again, he came in the summer as a right wing back, obviously as competition for Doherty, but he was unfit or injured when he first came. He's still injured, and he's been set back again. Obviously, not quite what we wanted to see. I think he's probably only been one of the many Wolves players that well, one of the only players out of the many players we've signed, if I word it correctly, that has been sort of disappointed. But we've not seen much of him. He may have been a fantastic player. Whether we'll see him in a Wolves shirt, I'm not sure. But probably at the end of the season, Wolves are, I'm sure, will probably cut their losses on him. Speaking of players that we haven't seen much of, though, today, it's now time for my question of the day. Every week we have a question of the day where I ask you guys a question and you leave me your answers in the comment section. We'll review last week's question of the day very shortly, but this week's question of the day is, if there is one Wolves player you wish you saw more of, who would it be and why? Whether they just didn't get a fair chance or they've been injured during their spell, let me know, and why. For me, probably Azzopardi. Obviously came in when we came down from the Premier League, along with the likes of Saka and so on. And he was actually rated higher by some people than Bukayo Saka. We know how good Saka was, but Bakary was just plagued with injuries, and unfortunately, we only saw sort of 2 or 3 games from him. Another couple of maybe honourable mentions. Peshko in that season as well was okay. We could have actually signed him, which I think he would have been ridiculously good in sort of League One level, but I think he had a clause, if we played him, we had to pay a certain amount or whatever. And Guardiola as well. I think he did quite well with Wolves. It would have been nice to see him sort of more on a permanent deal as well. But let me know in the comment section down below, and we'll very shortly we'll review your question of the day last week. So last week as well, I think I missed out, obviously after the Bolton game, there was a little bit of a hoo-ha just before half-time with Wolves and Nuno and the Bolton boss, Phil Parkinson. So, Wolves were, Nuno was charged by the FA over obviously misconduct and stuff, and he accepted that. We're still yet to see the fine or the penalty, what have you, from the FA. Normally it is sort of a monetary fine, but worst case, it would be a touchline ban. I don't think it'll be a touchline ban, if I'm honest. Probably just a small fine, which, you know, Nuno's already accepted. Also news about the FA Cup. Obviously, just before we kicked off against Birmingham on Monday night, the FA Cup draw was made for the 3rd round of the FA Cup, and Wolves got a home draw against Swansea. Already people are labelling that as a winnable game, and personally I think so as well. You know, we've shown up a couple of teams already in the Premier League in cup competition. I think we could definitely do a job over Swansea. They're struggling in the Premier League at the moment. More than likely would want to focus on the Premier League. So maybe a slightly rotated team from them as well. So against Swansea, FA Cup game should be winnable. But before we move on to the previews and reviews from the matches, we're going to go over the question of the week from last week, which was, if there was one player that you could have from Wolves over the last 10 years, who would it be and why in the current squad? There's been quite a few answers. Again, some very similar to each other, but obviously we'll go through all of those as well. George Horton said, great video. I think the last 10 years, Kevin McDonald would fit into the side with Neves, as his passing and playmaking skills are class. Obviously, we asked who should start out of Price and Ndiaye against Birmingham, which obviously was Ndiaye, but quite a few people said Price as well, which we'll go through as well. Ethan FC said Emacs Blake, because he would give Bonatini some more competition. They'd both get lots of goals. Quite a few people said Emacs Blake as well, which we'll go through. Charlie Green also said that. Matt HD29 said Emacs Blake as well. Guraj Kular, who obviously did a review last week for us, has said it has to be Kevin McDonald, best midfielder we've actually had over the past 10 years, pre-Neves and Sace, and obviously got his link for his blog, which you could check out, Musings from Molyneux, which we mentioned last week again. Tyler said he'd love to see a Phobie in the current team. I'd imagine he'd be scoring for fun. Tezza also said Ebanks Blake. Ryan FIFA said Ebanks Blake. Psycho Blank. Now, I wasn't sure if this was a joke or a serious one, but I'm going to mention it anyway. He said Leon Clark. He's banging in goals for fun at the moment at Sheffield United and would be the only Championship player who could maybe dislodge one of the front 3. If not, then Lescott would be pretty solid, a pretty solid case, even if his career has gone down the toilet recently. I mean, at his prime, Joleon Lescott would be, without doubt, probably a great player to have in this squad. Sam HD said Bukayo Saka was great with Wolves, and Nua Dicko, the partnership was amazing, and he could finish. Even without Dicko, I think he would be a good choice. I think in this front 3, he could work quite well, to be honest, as well. Ollie Carter also said Ebanks Blake, but thanks a lot for those suggestions, guys. Again, Leave your comments down below for today's question of the day. If there was any Wolves player you wish you saw a little bit more of, who would it be and why? So now we move on to the review of the Birmingham City match. Obviously, I always tend to do match reviews or vlogs of games that I've already been to. So you can go and check out my vlog of the Birmingham game where I sort of summed it up. But we've got a couple of lads as well that are going to give their thoughts. But I'll give my thoughts quickly. It's a win. 3 points. 1-0 win over a local derby. It was a game where, you know, Birmingham could have easily lost a couple of players. I mean, we probably could have as well with Ndiaye being a bit daft and so on. But we went into it, got that early goal thanks to the goal line technology, 1-0 up. And we could have easily got another goal or two in the first half. Second half, we just sat back and we relaxed a little bit more. The game as a whole was really flat, a bit dull. We had a couple of good chances in the second half where we should have probably put the ball away. But overall, we did what we needed to do. Obviously, Neves is a big part of our game plan. And obviously, he was out. But it's still good to get the 3 points. Now we get Neves back. It'll be 2 weeks for him without a game. So he should be fresh. He should be brilliant, hopefully, against Sunderland, spraying them balls around. We're hoping to see maybe some 40-yard balls from him. We've got two lads that have got their reviews as well, as per usual, Jack and Finners. Make sure you go check out their channels. A link to those is in the description down below, and let's get onto it.
Well below than what we are capable of, but we knew going into the derby that it would be like anyway. However, it didn't matter, obviously picking up another 3 points with Bonatini scoring the only goal of the game.
What's up guys, it's Finners here, back again with my review, this time of the Birmingham game. And well, there wasn't much to say about it, to be honest. Really scrappy. It wasn't our best performance. I was actually at home, couldn't get a ticket, unfortunately. So I was at home watching it on TV, and I grew quite frustrated with how we were playing. We sort of went down to their level, and it wasn't great to watch, but thankfully we got that early goal. Again, Bonatini, right place, right time. Great from Cav to sniff the danger out to begin with.
Although we weren't at our best, Blues didn't have a shot on target all game, and defensively we didn't look like conceding at all. If we'd have took our chances, which we struggle with because we're not clinical enough, Yota on a couple of occasions and held a one-on-one, and smashed them 3 or 4-0 with ease. A 1-0 win to send us 10 points clear of third is all that matters going into Sunderland on Saturday.
I thought that we sort of went down to Blues' level. It was quite frustrating to watch. They adopted the tactic of kick Jota and hope for the best, which we've seen Cardiff do, we've seen Preston try and do, and we haven't been our greatest against these sort of teams and those tactics, but thankfully we came away with the win this time.
Performance-wise, yeah, we wasn't at our best, and I think it just shows how much we rely on Neves. Passing-wise, we was below par, very complacent at times, especially Saiss. I think he bounces off Neves normally, and he can't get that link with Ndiaye.
Yeah, I thought everyone was average. I think we really missed Neves. Bolly was solid. Wing-backs weren't as effective as usual. But yeah, really glad we got the win. It's a sign of a good team that we can come away with a win when not playing our best. So overall, I'm happy, and roll on Sunderland.
That 10 points difference between us and third place, which now Bristol City, is massive.
So again, cheers lads for those reviews. Again, make sure you go check out those boys. Fantastic channels. If I'm not doing the vlogs, they're doing them. So their link is in the description down below. Obviously, Wolves now move on to a game on Saturday against Sunderland at home. We're in a very comfortable position at the top of the league at the moment. 4 points clear of Cardiff in second. 10 points clear of anyone else. I think it's Bristol City and Sheffield United in third and fourth place, respectively. We're hoping for another 3 points to continue a fantastic run. We've only lost once at home all season, so we're hoping for another win at home as well. Make sure you hit the subscribe button because there will be, hopefully, a match day vlog for that video as well, for that match. So that's the end of Wolves Weekly. If there's anything else that you feel that I missed out, that I should have discussed, let me know in the comment section down below. And if there's anything ever throughout the week that you think, you know what, that'd be a good thing to talk about, let me know in the comment section down below as well. Until next time, though, guys, make sure you hit the like button down below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'm sure I'll see you all very soon.